Let me introduce to you the most explosive Paragon yet. A factory of explosive spike balloon annihilation. That is the Mega Massive Munitions Factory. The SPIKE Factory Paragon coming in update 48. Just like me, if you're terminally online, I don't think you can see the word massive in the same way anymore. You know what else is? Anyway, stay tuned because we're gonna check it out in detail after we go through several more things in update 48. For one, we've got a new Adora skin. It's She-Ra. Yes, this is one of those collaborations with Masters of the Universe. If you remember the Battle Cat that came out several months ago, this is kind of in that same universe, I guess. Additionally, huge changes to Legends. They now have an XP shop, which consists of marshmallows as currency. By playing runs, you gain Rogue XP, which you can use to make future runs even easier. And holy crap, they really transformed, like, the entire game mode, I feel like, with this, and makes it feel like I think a true roguelike. So in case you were, say, on the fence previously about buying Rogue because of what you saw, then maybe think again, because these changes look pretty good, and I'm excited to try them out. Cough cough, use code ISAB in the shop if you'd like to purchase the Legends, please and thanks. Of course, as always, big thanks to Ninja Kiwi for the early access showcase. Update will be out very soon after you see this. But Rogue isn't going to be the main feature for today, of course, so we're going to play on Spa Pits here, the new map. And as you see, it's actually labeled a beginner map, which might, like, come as some of you to a surprise, because this is, yes, kind of a reskin of Tar Pits from BTD5. And if you played BTD5, then you know Tar Pits is not a beginner map. But SMH, look what they did now, dumbing down BTD6 by turning a previously extreme map, extreme, that was a category in BTD5, into, well, what looks to be one of the easiest maps ever. Because it seems like there's only one entrance and one exit. Comes out from the cave here, and I think exits in the cave. If you saw the green and red arrows, that indicates where a balloon comes in and out from, of course. Like, if you don't mind me doing so for one round, let me just show you, by selling everything, how long it takes for a balloon to exit. It goes through all 5 of the loops before reaching the end, which is a far cry from, well, the BTD5 variant, where you had 5 lanes, and each of them was a length of, well, a circle. Not even a full circle, actually. So buckle in, because once we get the SPIKE Factory Paragon, it's probably gonna last, like, quite a while. And that's why I've also made this run double HP Moabs, just so it would, I don't know, have more of a challenge. Otherwise, we'd probably be here until round 300. I kid, but unironically, that could be the case. Because, like, based on how expensive the Tier 5s are for the SPIKE Factory, it's pretty much a no-brainer, like on paper, that this Paragon should be one of the strongest Paragons, rivaling the Goliath Doomship, of course. And especially so, you know, considering the Supermines wield the most expensive Tier 5, aside from the Legend Knight, of course. But anyway, in case you didn't catch the price at the very beginning of the video, well, it's the second most expensive Paragon in the game, costing 864k on hard mode, although 800k on medium. Icon looks pretty badass if you ask me. It's like the Supermines, but upgraded to an eye. I got some more things to say about the splash art of it, but we'll get to that when we actually afford it. If you ask me, even though it's 100k less than the Ace Paragon, I fully expect this to be stronger than the Ace Paragon. Like, specifically, maybe versus bosses, because you've got, like, as the Tier 5s, 2 incredibly OP, like, boss damager options in Carpet and the Supermines. So it only makes sense that a tower that specializes in mob damage surpasses that of, like, the Ace, where only, like, 2 of the 3 pads are real mob damage, but it doesn't even rival that of the SPIKE Factory upgrades, if you know what I mean. So my prediction is that this thing is probably going to be the most popular Paragon to be used in bosses. Not only because of the power of it, but I think also because in terms of the setup. The reason why Ace is also so good is because it's very easy to farm pops with the Flying Fortress in bosses, because it is so strong that if you super buff it enough, you can beat, like, up to Tier 3 solo. I'm talking elite bosses, by the way. But now if we had Supermines and Carpet in the mix, I bet it could go way further than what that could do. And also to prep for the highest degree Paragon possible, we of course need 17 Tier 4 fully cross-path SPIKE Factories to reach the 100 tier requirement. The cheapest way for that, I believe, is 204 or 024. Close enough, both ways. But in case money is an issue, which I assume it might be, then yeah, deadly spikes are the way to go to recruit them tiers. Now that we're pretty close to affording it, I think a great place to put on this map is smack dab in the middle. Now, I think I'll just sell the perma-spike for it, rip the 67k. But how could you not use the middle, right? I think if the middle was not water, this might be like the best map for some towers, like to solo with. Anyway, not wasting any time here, I think we should just go for it after this round. Round 100 as well. Perfect timing, so you can see how good it is against bads. A double HP bad, mind you. Hopefully the existing spikes on the field don't delete the bad too quickly. But sure, we'll throw in 30k cash glider. And ideally, this is a degree 40 or above, but I don't think the pops are there. But I think the 30-something will suffice. Let's go. And 30... Oh, come on, okay. We got the Paragon, but that's kind of mildly infuriating, so let's get to 40 at least. Actually, or not. The only difference that degree 40 makes is actually in the visuals. If we're talking about not bosses, then apparently the every 20 degree bonus that I always talk about is only like extra damage to bosses. Someone correct me on that like a while back. And I figured that's something that, well, is important to mention. So yeah, no reason to be too anal about that. Now let's sell everything so that the entire board is nice and cleared for, well, the pure showcase of this thing. So looking at it, there are 2 abilities that this has. But first off, let's talk about, like, without abilities. What does it do? Well, you see that it lays the entire track in what apparently NK calls permanent carpet of spikes. Kind of think of it as like a glorified, I think, Spirit of the Forest. It essentially works the same way. Does damage over time to balloons, but I assume a lot of extra wall damage. Probably the weakest part of the tower, as you can see by the fact that it does no damage unless it actually hits the, well, the super mines. I don't know if I still call it super mines. What should I call it? Mega Massive Munition Mines, IDK. Also note that I think when the mines expire, it spews out a bunch of mini purple spikes. So there's like spikes within the spikes. You know what I mean? They despawn, it seems like, after a little bit. And each spike seems to handle a hell of a lot of balloons at once, because that was the entirety of 1 to 10. Let's see for the ZMGs here. How long can one spike tank them for? Not that long, actually. So without any abilities, not overly strong. And also note the incredibly slow attack speed. I guess the attack speed is inherited from the darn perma-spike. Makes sense that it shoots slow, because if this thing shot any faster, I think we have an issue of balance on our hands. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's use ability number 1. This spiky thing. What it does is, it seems like it just generates spikes faster. Fast forward it, you see. It looks like, I don't know. I think that's just the smart spikes bonus, right? But in the form of an ability, it seems to cool off incredibly fast. So fast that, like, we basically have full uptime in the ability, which, to me, I don't quite understand. Maybe I'm missing something, because again, this is early access, so I only know so much. There are no other people I can watch right now to get a full understanding of how the Paragon works. But to me, it's hard to comprehend why this is an ability and not just inherited in the tower itself, as in it shooting faster. I have noticed for this time around that the ability is still grayed out, so it looks like maybe it's a max amount of use per round. Let me see. Yeah. I guess we're limited to 1 use per round, which I guess makes sense why it's an ability. Okay, even if it is just 1 per round, I still don't understand why it's not just, like, how it works with smart spikes, because if these things last a really long time, which it looks like they do, I don't see any real strategic reason why you would need to time it for the end of the round, you know what I mean? I mean, I do see, like, some edge cases, but I maybe feel like it's unnecessary to have you have to press a button constantly. You can tech bot this, right? Yes, you can. Again, enough yapping. Let's see the second ability. Blast off, and looks like it lays a bunch of mines on the track, as you see. They have not detonated yet. I think only when a balloon reaches there will it create explosion. And it doesn't look like it's reaching. So we really can't see that just yet. Now, can we stack mines on mines? Oh, That ability detonates all mines, it seems, if you still have mines on the field. Gotcha. So I think the way it lays down mines on the track is it starts from the back of the track, is that right? And if the mine lands on a balloon immediately, then you see massive explosion. And take a look at that. Slowly plop into mines. Man, it takes so long. So much that a third of the ability already cooled off before it is done. Quite fascinating, and there is another detonation coming very soon. It seems to not layer skip based on the F-zoom used to pop to BFB, so hard to see how good the true damage is without testing. But speaking of testing, we're going to be doing that later on, so stay tuned for that. Something else I want to talk about was the splash art, or I guess the art of the Paragon itself. Pretty nasty looking, in a good way, I mean. But is it just me, or does this kind of look more like a Biggest One plus Mad hybrid? Like the Mad color scheme, but the Spike Factory literally looks like a mortar on the top there. I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that based on the comments I saw about the Paragon. But okay, I didn't fully pay attention there, but it looks like the mines expire after a certain amount of time if they don't become detonated. So this next ability, even though the last ability was laying down mines, is also laying down mines because there are no more on the track. And I believe it is time. Round 140, a double HP F-Bad. Let's go. Start with the Smart Spikes, and let's see how much damage it'd be doing. Well, given how early it popped, we're going to be here again, I think, for quite a while. So, friendly reminder that the mobs will only travel half as far in a non-double HP run of this. Anyway, confirmed there that it looks like there's a 5 or 6 round limit on the detonation mines. I'm gonna use it again here. Explode. Oh, that just nuked out the bad, if you saw there. Disgusting. I think it does layer skip too. I didn't see insides of the bad come out. So if a degree 38 did that to a bad, then think about the damage on a boss. Now, it looks like there's some pretty huge power contained in the Mega Mine ability, because I realized that without it, balloons travel really, really, really far. Like, look at the bats there. Look at it. Let's detonate to end off 151. Boom. Didn't quite one-shot there, so I think scaling is slowly gonna take over. One more thing I would like to talk about is, I guess, the name, once again, of the Paragon. Mega Massive Munitions Factory, I feel like, is so many words. So I grade it, I don't know, a C- to your name. It just feels like it's too long, you know what I mean? Kind of like the last tier attack Paragon, Crucible of Steel and Flame. Keep it simple, I would, in my IMO. Like, I feel like the Paragon name would work just fine without that second word. Mega Munitions Factory. Kind of gives the same menacing thought. And also, wait, what? I didn't see a balloon anywhere close to leaking. Am I tripping? It looks like the game gave me a free continue. Wait, what happened? Okay, I'll spend monkey money to continue. Play. Wait, what? Is there a bug in this map or something? Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, let me do the following. Continue. Back out of the game, because maybe there's some sort of bug that gets fixed if we reload. Let's try this again, okay? Play. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong. I have never seen that before. What happens if I say, sell the munitions factory, buy normal towers, like this? Play? No, it looks like 157 is a completely cooked round. They send out invisible black dots. Well, they're GTs, I know. But why can't they be damaged by anything? That is so strange. Legend of the Night, well, that kills the run I was going for. Black Portal spawns on 5 lanes. Did we do a secret or something? I've never seen anything exit on any of the other lanes except for this one. So that's kind of weird. Like, the fact that there's technically 5 exits that we haven't seen. Yeah, it looks like we didn't survive. Do we leak to DTs again? Okay, I'm confused. What the hell did I just witness? Okay, last try, us against the black dots. I see 4 remaining. 4 remaining. 3 remaining. I think we finally got it this time. 1 last dot. Wait, more. No, wait, there's more spawning. I don't get this. Shit's gonna be crazy if this makes it to the live patch. Seems like we finally beat all the black dots, but because we sold the SPIKE Paragon, well, we're not going to be able to beat the bad. So, like, the run has to be ended here. I guess I could have beaten it without selling the SPIKE Paragon, but I can't go back now. No time machine in this Access run. So instead, let me show you the power of the Munitions Factory in a Sandbox test. It looks like we got a degree 45 in testing here, and the reason why I wanted to show you Sandbox is because, look, they added the test Moab. So now we can see the actual boss damage it would do, or I guess mob damage. Let's spawn it out. Spawn one out and see how much it does, say, first off, without any abilities. Just running through the normal mines. Looks like 250, 260. The carbon spikes is really, really, really weak. Only 100 damage per time, so, like, I don't know, 10 times stronger than the Spear Forest. It's vines. Now, as cool as test mob is, the thing is, you can't change the size of the Moab, because what if you want to test a bad's, like, hitbox? You can't with this. Let's drop the mines now and see how much damage they do, but it might be hard to tell because of the other balloons on screen, so maybe we'll have it pass to the back of the track first. Like, oh, what? We popped the invisible Moab. You gotta be kidding me. These mobs are supposed to have infinite HP. Is that not wrong to think? They're not supposed to be able to be popped. Okay, it's still alive here. Let's see. 1661 to 1741. So about 80,000 damage per mine it passes through. Pretty good, especially considering there's so many of them. And there we go. All 1 million HP popped out of it. If I was able to sandbox a higher round than 157, then I would, and send out, like, F-pads. Like, before the test mob, what I would do is I would just simply send out, like, around 500 F-pad, because no one's going to be able to pop that. So that is essentially the same as test mob, except for the price. That would be hard to replicate. Plan B is to go into challenge editor and find a random challenge that is has enough money to start with and a high enough round. So we're going to test around 200 on Bloons here. And I'm honestly intrigued about how the munitions would work, because if it drops a certain amount of spikes, then wouldn't it on a really short map place the mines really, really, really close together? Well, we're going to find out. Degree 15 only. Let's drop this and look. Oh, wait, no. It's the same spacing every time. That kind of blows. My thinking was that you would get, like, 12 of them in a very, very, very short, like, span, but it seems like that's not the case. Anyway, this is also not accurate because the F-bat speed is really slow, but it does appear like eventually we'll be able to break through it, especially since it looks like each F-bat is under 1 million HP or about 1 million HP. Not too much higher than you saw before. Okay, last test I made, round 140, except max HP. So 20x HP on these F-bats. Can the munitions, or rather the MMMF, I like to call it, break it down? We'll use the ability for attack speed and lay the mines down. How much is the HP of this round times 20? Well over 1 million. I don't think it's going to pop, actually. There's no point using this ability because it's not going to come up again. Actually, nope. It all timed out, so we can do another one now. Or not. No, I think we left one spike alive, so that ability did nothing. Well, I think that's about all we need to see about the Spike Factory so far. So, well, let me know what you guys think of the MMMF. Is it what you expected, and what do you think? We're definitely going to test more when the update's live, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on Update 48 contents. In the meantime, check out these videos, and see you next time.